The perception of the crime is what I believe needs to be tackled. I mean, for a long time I've been on about getting rid of the word shoplifting because I don't think it should be referred to as something, a separate category. That I've gone on about enough. But I've been doing a little bit of research with some people in other countries, and I find that it's a perception, for instance, in the Far East, a colleague of mine was saying that they have very little in the way of shop theft. In fact, he said they seem to have a hobby of spending money. They simply, it's not a cultural thing. What we need to do is to change the perception of the crime. I think everybody regards it as such a low level and victimless, the old cliche, victimless crime. Patently it's not. I mentioned to the minister there, we had £1,500 worth of power tools where the guys came in and with cable cutters last week, and I've now got a map showing exactly where they've been in the country. I've also got I've got images of all 12 of the gang, and I've identified from the 12 that 6 of them have been into my shop. They're going all over the place. That's just one market. I'm being accused, I know, a hit in that way. They're specified that way. But, I mean, it's across markets. It's a perception of the crime. We need to change the culture. We need to change the way people think about this. And it just can't be treated as such a low-level, menial sort of crime. Somehow it's got to be elevated to the stage where people regard it as the lowest of the low.
Well, I mean, one of the things in the formation of this group was exactly that we need to change that perception that for too long it's been regarded as a low-level offence. But I mean, as we're hearing, it's not. It's a multi-million pound offence. It involves organised crime, and it has tentacles that reach into all sorts of other areas of crime. So, I mean,
in this room it's not perceived that way, but the general public
we have to work much harder. And I think that is implicit in the point that Fiona was making about, whether it would be possible to have further deterrence. I mean, if you go to a football match and you cause trouble, you get a banning order. It may be not unreasonable to say that if you commit an offence like this, that you're not allowed to work in any part of the league. It may not be that. Some people would find it very hard, but it may not be that.
I for a long time have had my rogues gallery with lines over their faces. From now on, if I've got strong enough, in my perception, strong enough evidence, I'm just going to publish. And in fact, having mentioned that to local police in Cambridge, they condone it, which I was quite surprised about.
Just a couple of things. One, if someone uses the word low level, I'm pushing back now and saying high impact, because we need to change that terminology. We need to change the way that people think about it. So if someone uses the word low level, look at me at high impact. One area that maybe we
in the church there is a lack of effective out-of-court disposals as well for retail crime. That's the other challenge, because you're dealing. So the criminal justice bill's going through, and there's motions of you get a type that the offenders 45 offences plus should have a minimum of a 2-year prison sentence is one suggestion. Because you get those hardcore people, what you do with them? Because just kicking them back out of court isn't going to answer that issue, is it? They've got issues that need addressing.
There's one person I've been dealing with called Jackie Lambert of Retail Loss Prevention. I don't know, are you aware of her? She's developed a system called CARE, C-A-E-R, Crime Awareness, Education and Restitution, I think it is. It's a computer-based thing which takes the victims through. I didn't know if you were aware.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,